Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Grim and Guilty. On an ordinary May morning in 2008, two sisters ran into traffic on one of England's busiest motorways. They weren't drunk. They weren't on drugs. They were calm right up until the moment they sprinted into oncoming cars. What followed was captured on police cameras. Footage so disturbing, so unexplainable, it would become one of the strangest cases in modern history. This is the story of Sabrina and Ursula Eriksson, identical twins whose bond took them to the edge of insanity and maybe something beyond it. It's May 17, 2008. Traffic is roaring down the M6 motorway in Staffordshire, England. Among the cars, two women are seen walking along the divider, carrying backpacks and wearing matching green jackets. They're Swedish twins, Ursula and Sabrina Eriksson. They recently left Ireland, where they've been staying without telling anyone. No one knew where they were going or why they were on the motorway. When highway officers stopped to check on them, everything seems calm at first. But within seconds, the situation spirals into chaos. The twins suddenly bolt into traffic. Ursula is struck head-on by a large truck, her legs crushed beneath the wheels. Sabrina is hit by a car, thrown into the air, and yet somehow she gets up. Against all logic, she rises, dazed and screaming, and begins fighting the officers trying to help her. She shouts, "They're going to steal our organs," before punching and kicking, her strength described as inhuman. This wasn't a typical accident. It was as if both women were possessed by some shared terror. Incredibly, both women survived the impact. Ursula is taken to the hospital in critical condition. Sabrina, though injured, seems almost unharmed, physically at least. When questioned by police, she's calm again, polite even. Doctors find no drugs, no alcohol, and no history of mental illness. Just 24 hours later, Sabrina is released. She tells authorities she's fine, just worried about her sister. But within hours of walking free, tragedy strikes again. Sabrina wanders through the nearby town of Fenton, acting strangely, asking strangers where she could find her sister, muttering to herself and offering cigarettes to passbyers before quickly snatching them back. Then she meets a man named Glenn Hollinshead, a kind 54-year-old local who takes pity on her and offers her a place to stay for the night. He tells friends she seems odd, but harmless. He couldn't have been more wrong. The next day, May 20th, Glenn makes tea for his guest. At some point during the morning, he steps outside to ask a neighbor for tea bags. When he returns, Sabrina is waiting with a knife. She stabs him 5 times. He stumbles out of the house, bleeding, shouting, "She stabbed me," before collapsing and dying in the street. Sabrina frees, running through tragic once again, hitting herself in the head with a hammer as she goes. When police catch up, she leaps off a 40-foot bridge, breaking bones but miraculously surviving. Once again, against all reason, Sabrina lives. Psychologists were baffled. What could make two rational women behave this way? In perfect sync, as if driven by a shared delusion. The official diagnosis was Belia Da, or madness of two. It's a rare psychotic condition where two people share the same psychotic beliefs, feeding each other's paranoia until neither can tell what's real. Some believe the sisters had a generic predisposition to mental illness. Others say stress, exhaustion, or trauma triggered it. But for many who saw the footage, it looked like something else entirely, something unearthly. Their coordination, their strength, their apparent immunity to pain. It all felt impossible, almost supernatural. After serving just 5 years in prison for manslaughter, Sabrina Eriksson was released in 2011. Her whereabouts today are unknown. Her sister, Ursula, recovered from her injuries and quietly returned to Sweden. They have never spoken publicly about what happened. Two sisters, one explicable bond, and a chain of events that defies reason. Was it sheer psychosis, coincidence, or something darker? A force that took hold of both of their minds at once? No one can say for sure, but one thing is certain. Whatever happened on that highway in 2008 wasn't just a breakdown. It's a mystery that still haunts psychologists and paranormal investigators alike. Some call it tragedy, others call it possession. Some say it's both. Hospitals are supposed to be places of healing, places where pain is erased and life is preserved. But some walls hold on to what they've witnessed. Some rooms never forget. In the heart of Boyle Heights, Los Angeles, there stands a building once known for saving lives, but now remembered for what lingers after death. The Linda Vista Community Hospital, abandoned, decaying, and said to be one of the most haunted places in California. The Linda Vista Hospital begins its story in 1905, originally called the Santa Fe Railroad Hospital. It was built to serve railway workers, men injured on the job, their bodies crushed by the machinery or broken on the tracks. Back then, medicine was crude and survival wasn't guaranteed. Still, the hospital became a symbol of care for laborers who risked their lives to keep the trains moving. By the 1930s, it was renamed Linda Vista Community Hospital, and it opened its doors to the public. But as Los Angeles grew, so did the poverty, violence, and the crime around Boyle Heights. The hospital, once a place of hope, slowly turned into a place of tragedy. By the 1970s and 80s, Linda Vista had become a grim reflection of the neighborhood's struggles. Gunshot victims, overdose cases, and violent crime filled its emergency room. The staff was overworked, supplies ran low, and rumors spread that patients were being neglected. Some said people went in for routine procedures and never came out. Others claimed that patients who died there didn't rest quietly. Nurses began reporting cold spots in empty rooms, footsteps in the halls after dark, and whispers when no one was around. As funding dried up and the neighborhood's crime rate climbed, the hospital's reputation fell apart. By 1991, Linda Vista closed its doors for good, officially due to the lack of funding, but locals whispered it was cursed. After the closure, the building was left to decay, its paint peeling, windows shattered, and surgical lights still hanging like ghosts of the past. Urban explorers and thrill seekers began sneaking in, drawn by the stories, and what they found only deepened the mystery. People claimed to hear gurneys rolling down empty hallways. Lights flickered to life even when the power had been shut off long ago. Apparitions of nurses in 1940s uniform were seen standing at the end of corridors, only to vanish when approached. Security guards reported screams echoing from the old operating rooms. One said he saw a figure of a young woman staring from a window on the third floor, even though that floor had been sealed off for years. Paranormal investigators later described strange electromagnetic spikes, cold drafts, and recordings of disembodied voices. Some pleading for help, others whispering, "Don't go." After its closure, Linda Vista found new life in a different way, as a filming location. Its eerie atmosphere became the backdrop for horror movies like Insidious 2, End of Days, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Actors and crew members often refused to stay alone in certain wings. Some reported hearing faint heart monitor beeps when no machines were plugged in. Others say they felt watched, followed, or suddenly cold. Even seasoned film crews who are used to stage scares and fake blood admitted something about the Linda Vista felt too real. Today, the old Linda Vista Hospital has been partially renovated into senior housing, but many say the spirits never left. Residents still report strange noises at night, shadows that move across the walls, and the faint echo of hospital carts rolling through the halls. Maybe it's just the imagination, or maybe some places absorb too much pain to ever be quiet again. Linda Vista was built to heal, but what it became is a reminder that not every wound can close and not every soul can move on because some hospitals stopped saving lives and start collecting them.